अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह। पिछली वीडियोस में हमने सॉलिड, लिक्विड एंड गैसेस स्टेट पढ़े हैं और उनकी जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं वो हमने पढ़े हैं और रीज़न्स जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ जो उनकी जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ डिफरेंट प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं, रीज़न्स भी हमने पढ़े हैं। आज हम वही इसको रिपीट करेंगे, यानी इस वीडियो में हम जो हमने वीडियो प्रॉपर्टीज़ पढ़े थे सॉलिड, लिक्विड गैसेस की जनरल प्रॉपर्टीज़, उनका हम अब कंपैरिजन लेंगे इस वीडियो में। ठीक है जी। सो व्हाट इज़ सॉलिड एंड लिक्विड एंड गैस, जो उनकी डेफिनेशन है वो हमने डिस्कस किए हैं। Solid is that form of matter which is highly incompressible. It cannot be compressed. Incompressible means it cannot be compressed. It is highly incompressible. It is rigid. It is highly incompressible and has a definite shape and a definite volume. जो liquid है, liquid is that state of matter, that form of matter which possesses fluidity, and has definite volume but no definite shape. It takes the shape of the container. Similarly, gas is that form of matter which shows maximum fluidity, is highly compressible. It is compressible, not incompressible. It is compressible gas and has neither definite shape nor definite volume. These are the definitions of solid, liquid, gas, which we have discussed in previous videos, which we have recorded which I have recorded earlier. So in this video we are going to discuss the comparison of these general properties of solid, liquid, gases. First property is packing of particles in solids, liquids and gases. So as far as solid is concerned, the particle which make up the solids, they are closely packed. It means the interatomic distance between these particles is very small. So packing the particles in solids is they are very closely packed. Means the constituent particles in the solids, they are closely packed. In liquid they are less closely packed. It means they have little bit more distances between them. It means that interparticle distances are larger than in liquids than those in solids, but they are smaller in gases. याद रखना है, आपने पढ़ा है. So as far as gases are concerned, the constituent particles are free to move about. It means that they are more widely packed. It means that interatomic distances between the particles are largest. They are largest. Interatomic distances are largest. So this is the packing of particles. Interparticle force of attraction, मैंने जो हमने पहले पढ़ा था, जो अगर पार्टिकल्स के दरमियान जो डिस्टेंस कम होगी, it means that their forces are strong. Calm distances small means forces are strong. Distances greater means forces are small. So interparticle force in solids is what is called strongest because they are closely packed. As far as liquid is concerned, the interparticle forces are force of attraction, they are weaker, but not weaker than gases, but stronger. This weaker but stronger than gases, weaker than solids but stronger than gases. So in gases, the interparticle force of attraction, they are the weakest forces of attraction between the particles, gas particles. Shape and volume. What about the shape and volume? Solids have definite shape and definite volume. Solids have definite distinct boundaries, but a definite shape and definite volume. In liquids, they have definite shape, definite volume, not definite shape, definite volume, but no definite shape. They take the shape of the vessel in which they are placed. Gases are concerned, they neither have definite shape nor definite volume, neither definite shape nor definite volume. So shape and volume of solids, they are both definite. In a solid possess definite shape and definite volume, and liquids possess only definite volume but no definite shape. They take the shape of the vessel in which they are contained, in which they are placed. Gases neither possess definite shape nor definite volume. ये हमने डिस्कस किया था. Small gas of volume of gas can be transformed into a large volume of gas. Small volume of cylinder and as well as large volume of cylinder. And both can be filled by a known quantity of gas. It means that gases neither do not have definite volume, also definite, they do not have definite shape. Compressibility. Solids are highly compressible. They cannot be compressed. Highly compressible or completely compressible. Incompressible. They cannot be compressed. Incompressible, जो हमने एक्सपेरिमेंट एक्टिविटी की थी परसों, इसमें हमने देखा था जो सैंड हमने भरा था सीरीज में, पिस्टन जो ही लगाते हैं, so piston cannot be moved down. That means they are highly incompressible. Liquid is almost incompressible. Slightly they can be compressed, slightly, but in major cases that cannot be measured how much they are compressed because they are slightly compressed. So that is why we can say that liquids are they're almost incompressible. They can be compressed negligibly. Slightly. Gases are highly compressible. Large volume of gas can be what is called large volume of gas can be transformed, can be put in a small volume of cylinder of small capacity, very little capacity. That is why LPG they are transported, they are filled in cylinders and transported. Oxygen cylinders contain oxygen, large amount of oxygen. So gases are highly compressible. Rigidity and fluidity. These are two properties: rigidity and fluidity. Solids are rigid, while as gases show maximum fluidity. Liquids have intermediate rigidity. They show the property of rigidity. Intermediate, those of solids and liquids, and fluids. Liquids are also fluids. They are less fluids than gases, but they are less fluids than gases. Solids are not fluids. Solids are rigid. So particles, though solids possess rigidity, liquids can flow. That means that they are fluids. They possess fluidity, but the fluidity which they possess is smaller than that of gases. Gases flow easily, more easily than liquids, and thus have the maximum highest fluidity. Freedom of motion of particles. यानी जो particle motion है, जो liquid solids है, the solid particle can only vibrate to and fro about their mean position. They only vibrate. They do not move. They do not possess translational motion. They do not possess rotational motion. Only they possess vibratory motion. They only vibrate about their mean positions. It means that they have less freedom of motion. As far as liquid is concerned, they can move. They can move. They have translational motion, rotational motion, vibrational motion. Motion. But in cases, the freedom of motion is they have more freedom of motion, highest freedom of motion. The gas particles can move in all possible directions with different velocities in all possible directions. They have greater freedom of motion because of greater distance, interparticle distances. Density. What about density? Mass divided volume in case of gases is high, and density of solids are high. Solids have high density. Liquids, the density of liquids is lower than solids. Yes, lower than solids, but more than gases. Kinetic energy. The particles have, the solid particles have minimum kinetic energy, because they can only vibrate. They do not move. They do not have more freedom of motion because of strong interparticle forces of attraction. Kinetic energy of solid particles is minimum. Liquids have greater kinetic energy than that of solids, but it is the gas particle which have maximum kinetic energy because they can move in all possible directions with different speeds. Diffusion. What about diffusion? Solids do not show the property of diffusion except in few cases. Some rare case examples of diffusion of one solid into another are known. जो हमने पढ़ा था, when a chalk, when we write on the blackboard with chalk and left it undisturbed for few days, for 20-30 days. After 30 days, it will be difficult for us to rub this board because of the diffusion of chalk particles into the wooden board or blackboard takes place. But diffusion is slow and it takes more time, but it takes more time. That is why we can say that solids normally do not show the property of diffusion. Liquids show the property of diffusion. Liquids show the property of diffusion. And solids, liquids and gases, they can diffuse in liquids. जो हमने पढ़ा था, solid in liquids, यानी sugar in water can diffuse, liquid in liquid, alcohol in water, gas in liquid. gas in liquid, ये भी हमने पढ़ा था. जो ऑक्सीजन है, जो एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स हैं, उनके लिए ऑक्सीजन चाहिए, वो डिजॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन होता है, वही यूज़ करते हैं, यानी गैस इन लिक्विड, वो एग्जांपल है डिफ्यूजन. So as far as gases are concerned, gases diffuse very rapidly. जो हमने पढ़ा था कल, gases diffuse very rapidly, but rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of the density. यानी जो lighter gases होते हैं, lighter gases diffuse more rapidly. Heavier gases diffuse by taking more time. जो हमने पढ़ा था, ये हमने पढ़ा था. अब so these are some properties, these are general properties of solid liquids, and we compare them with each other. So you can also check and remember these properties of solids, liquids, and gases. Remember these and know them.